Hello, welcome back to the non-essential experience. We're back again, second episode. Again, I'm one of your hosts, Miguel, alongside.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Diego here.
And today we're going to be very heavy on the MCU conversations, on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we're going to go into what we believe to be the worst three of the MCU, the best three. We're going to see who's going to have the best trilogy between Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, which one we believe has the best trilogy. And we'll see what else we talk about in this episode. But let's just get into it. First, we're going to start with our bottom three MCU movies, starting with number 3. I'm going to shoot it over to Diego. I'm going to have you say yours first. Your number 3.
I think my number 3 of my bottom 3, the highest ranking of my bottom 3 would probably be Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh my God! No, you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy
No,
the movie.
you didn't.
I did not enjoy the movie.
You're out of your fucking mind, Diego.
I liked how they introduced Ego.
I'm legit upset right now. I'm legit upset. How do you rank that so low?
I just didn't enjoy it. I came out of that movie kind of like, that was one of the few Marvel movies that I watched, and I was just like, damn, it might have been because I was super excited because it's a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel, but I feel like they did not that they lost the magic that they had with Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
You're out of your mind, dude.
And I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it as much.
Guardians 1 and 2 are some of my most watched MCU movies.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just on the music alone, it should rank that higher with you. Like, the soundtrack to that movie is so good.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong.
That intro to that movie with Baby Groot dancing and the monsters fighting in the back.
And I'm telling you, it pains me to put it there because it's still a good movie. But it's just, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed other movies.
You're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your mind.
Maybe, but I just didn't enjoy it as much.
You're gonna hear my list, and then you're gonna be like, "Damn, how did I rank Guardians lower than some of those?"
Maybe I don't remember all the movies.
I don't think you do, honestly.
And who knows? I might be having a fucking major brain fart. But from what I remember going to the theater and watching these movies, this is one of those movies where I came out of it and I was like, "Damn, I am kind of disappointed." I was like, "This is not as good as I was expecting it to be." And remember, when you watch an MCU movie, you're not just watching the movie but you're also watching the movie for the setup for the next movie. And at the time, we were still building up towards Infinity War, and I felt like this movie didn't provide anything else for it besides just I just felt like they just threw the movie in there, and there was nothing providing that. They didn't provide any more story for the big picture of the Infinity War and Endgame. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Oh my God, I don't even know, dude. It's so wild to me that Guardians 2 is one of the better movies of the MCU, and it's your number 3 for worst or bottom list of, not worst, because in my opinion, there's no horrible MCU movie. There's very subpar movies in the MCU, but no bad movies. Maybe just one, which would be I'll get to it on my list. But dude, I can't believe you. Anyways, my number 3 worst movie of the MCU is Iron Man 2. Now that is a movie talking about coming in hype for a sequel and then just being completely let down.
See, I'll be honest with you. Iron Man 2, I watched it, and the only time I watched it was in a bootleg copy when I was a lot younger, when I was a little kid, when I had just came out. So it wasn't a good quality. So I don't remember it. So my my three, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because I don't remember a lot of these movies.
Damn, man. They got Disney Plus, man. These are all on Disney Plus.
You know,
I think I've seen every MCU movie a minimum of 3 times. Maybe the minimum might be even more than that, honestly.
oh my god, what the
I'm
fuck?
I love these movies, dude.
I can't rewatch things. Like I don't mind spoilers, but after I've already watched the movie and I've seen what happens, I just kind of like whatever. Like I don't feel like watching it.
But yeah, Iron Man 2, I don't know. My biggest gripe with that movie is how easily he pretty much beats the boss, the villain of the movie. I forget his name. The dude with the whips.
Whiplash.
Whiplash, thank you. He once Tony gets his shit together, he dismantles them in less than a minute. It's like so quick. I'm like, and I get it, because when you look at Whiplash, he isn't that intimidating of a villain. Like, dude has electric whips. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what realistically, what kind of damage can he do to Iron Man? Not much. And it's obvious because Iron Man beats him so quick. But I don't know. And just overall the movie, and I get it that movie is just like kind of, I guess, the starting of the downfall of Tony Stark, the alcoholic, going through the trauma of the Avengers movie, and like the story's cool, but overall the movie's just kind of like meh to me.
Like subpar, yeah.
Yeah, it's very subpar. It's whatever. It's not that memorable. So, number 2, what you got in number 2? Don't disappoint me anymore, please. Is all I'm asking.
Ooh, here comes Miguel. Ooh, get prepared. I think my number 2 would honestly, it would probably be Captain Marvel.
Oh my god, dude.
That's another movie, dude, where I just didn't enjoy it.
Your list is so wild to me when there's so many of these other movies.
Dude, like I said, I don't remember the movies that well. I'm just going off of what I remember and what really stuck out to me. Because of course, if I rewatched all the movies, I could be like, "Oh yeah, Iron Man 2 was horrible. Oh yeah, this movie was horrible."
At some point, you're gonna have to rewatch these movies, and we're gonna have to revisit this.
Oh yeah, of course. But the way that I'm going with this list is that it's simply by memory. I'm trying to. If I can't remember the movie, that means it wasn't great, and it wasn't that great, and it wasn't that bad. But if I remember watching that movie and genuinely being disappointed while in the theater, where it left like such a negative like feeling, of course I'm gonna remember it. Of course it's gonna make the list. Because
Captain Marvel to me is one of those movies that gets worse the more you watch it. I don't know why that is, but every time I rewatch it, I do tend to enjoy it a little less than I did before. That being said, I still like that movie a lot.
I don't know. I just did not enjoy it, dude. I don't know what it was, but it's just not enjoyable. I really just did not enjoy it. I like how they introduced the Kree, and I enjoyed the little cat fucking monster thing that they had in there. I don't know what I forget what it's called.
I forget what it's called too.
But
and to me, I don't know. I just Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury. He's so great in that movie. He gets a lot of screen time, more screen time than he does in any of the other MCU movies. Their interactions are funny. Like I said, the Kree is great. They're the main Kree guy. He's hilarious too, especially in the later half of the movie once you kind of know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just like I said, I remember walking out of the theater after I watched that movie, being so disappointed, and who knows, it might have been because it was the movie right before Infinity War, and I was expecting was it Infinity War or Endgame?
It was Infinity War.
Was it Infinity War?
Yeah.
No,
Or no, it was
I
Endgame
think
because
it was Endgame.
the after credit
Yeah,
scene is Samuel Jackson getting
yeah,
snapped and he's sending the beeper. No, you're right.
yeah. So maybe I was just expecting the movie to like, um, uh, to explain, like, to provide something,
And
to
I
do
will say
something
this.
for Endgame. And I remember just being like, "What the fuck? They didn't do anything." Like, I don't remember the after credit scene that they had wasn't even like, I think it was just the cat. No, it was just like something with the
No, the
cat.
after credit scene is Samuel Jackson. Everyone's getting dusted. He gets the pager out, the beeper, whatever, and he hits the. No, wait, that is it. No, that's not that. Is
The,
it that the credit scene?
that's the after credit scene for Infinity War.
Oh, it is the Infinity War.
Because yeah, that's Infinity War. I forget the after credit scene for Marvel for Captain Marvel. Um,
Damn,
fuck. I
I
can't.
actually don't remember either. Now that you mention it, you're right because that was the Infinity War after credit scene.
I
And
don't
there's
remember, dude.
people listening that probably are like these fucking idiots. This is what it
Like,
was.
well, we're listening to this. They're trying to provide our top three, and they don't remember the fucking
So these are
after
bottom
credit scene.
threes.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the MCU, they're like these fucking nerds, but they're not even good nerds. Like,
Because here's one thing. I guess this is harder for you to answer, but like since you don't rewatch these movies, whenever you watch these movies, I don't always watch the after credit scene now, unless it's an after credit scene I know that I like. You know what I mean?
see, if I watched, I would rewatch the after credit scenes
Like
because
when I rewatch Infinity War, and I've seen that movie a shitload of times. I don't really watch the after credit scene anymore because it's the Samuel Jackson one where he gets the pager out and he pages her. But so I don't really watch it because it's like it was the first time. It was like, oh, it's awesome. But now it's kind of it's whatever. It doesn't really. It's not a big
yeah,
deal.
I get it. I understand. I think it would be like a case by case base for me. Like sometimes I would do it, sometimes I wouldn't.
I legit have no idea what the after credit scene was then for Captain Marvel.
I'm
Maybe it was
telling you,
some.
I think it was just a cat. I think it was just like the cat doing something or like regurgitating
Oh, it
the
was the cat regurgitating where Nick
the
Fury
key.
is in office.
Yeah, because it ate the. Didn't it, no. Doesn't he feed it the the Tesseract so the government doesn't take it from him?
I think it regurgitates the Tesseract in the after
Something like
credit
that.
scene.
Something like that. Whatever. Like we didn't lose our nerd card today. We kind of remembered it.
Because it eats it in the spaceship and then it throws it up in the after credit scene. Actually, either way, it doesn't matter.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Exactly, it doesn't
We're
matter.
not ranking after credit scenes. We're ranking movies.
Yeah.
When I first initially watched Captain Marvel and I came out of that theater, I'm like, fuck, I love this movie. This movie is great. It hits me right in the nostalgia as a 90s kid. But again, the more I watched it, the more it's like, you know what, it's not that great. And I get you. That was one of the biggest mistakes is putting a prequel in between the two biggest Avenger movies that everybody in the world couldn't wait for.
Not even just Avengers movies. That's like two of the biggest movies. Like it
Ever.
was like the biggest movie event ever. Like I genuinely don't know how they will ever have an event bigger than Infinity War and Endgame because I remember going to the theater, dude, and like I went to when we and went to watch Endgame. I think we went like at 2 in the afternoon, and the theaters were so fucking packed. It was absolutely crazy. It was one of the few times that I've gone to a theater and they had the like the second like like snack shack convenience store thing that they have being
Yeah, like at the
opened.
Galaxy Theaters. Like
At the Galaxy Theater that we went to,
we
they
were just
even
talking
had
about
the
this the other day,
second.
how I've never seen the second convenient the where you buy the popcorn and stuff, open the second one.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. And I have this is the only time that I went to a theater that they had the second bar open. It didn't just have the two convenience stores; they even had the second bar open. And to me, that was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. I'm like
Like it's
seeing the
any
amount.
time a Marvel movie comes out, let alone these Avengers movies, it's fucking it's like the biggest event going on.
Yeah,
And to me, like I said, for me, when I go watch Marvel movies, I always go opening night, and then I tend to go watch them the following Tuesday, Wednesday, because those tend to be my days off when I was working. So I would always go watch them again. And I remember for the Avengers movies, the theaters were still packed on a Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning when everyone should be working. It was crazy. But yeah, so I get my number 2 now.
Yeah, you're number 2.
It's gonna be Thor, the Dark
Thor,
World.
the
The
Dark
second
World.
one, the Dark World. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's so funny when I first watched that movie. Thor 2 is one of 2 movies I did not watch in the theaters.
Lucky for you, because that movie was fucking hot garbage.
That one and Iron Man 2 are the only 2 I did not watch in the theaters for MCU. Every other one I saw in the theaters. To me, that one, I remember when I first watched it, I'm like, holy shit, this movie is horrible. This is utter crap. Like, and then I rewatched it last year because I went right before Endgame came out. I rewatched every single MCU movie. And it's actually not that bad, but it's still, compared to the other movies, it's still pretty bad.
See, that's my number 1. That's my number 1. I don't like, that's the one movie where I came out and I was like, what was that mess of a movie? And I remember the first time I watched it, I tried to convince myself that I liked it and that I enjoyed it, but I was just like, I can't. I was like, I can't make myself believe that I liked that movie. I was like that was kind of a bad movie, and I was like, and I hated it. I did not like it.
I would like, again, rewatching it more recently. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's like, in comparison, it is. When everything else that's come out since then has been better than it, you know what I mean?
Like, even before, like, the first Thor movie wasn't.
I love the first Thor movie.
It's not the best movie in the world.
It's not, but I love it.
But I love it, dude. Like, and even the villain, the little, like, some metal monster thing that's
Loki
Cyclops.
and the metal monster.
Yeah. It's not even like that great of a fight. Like, but I just, the second one, I just did not like it.
Even till today, like I said, I watched them all last year, and Dark World's still like fuzzy to me. Like, not much in that movie sticks out to me, honestly. I cannot pinpoint a single scene in that movie where I'm like, oh, I really like. I feel like name me any MCU movie, I can probably name you a scene I enjoy or I liked or that sticks out of my head when you first. Dark World, nothing.
Nothing, dude. Like,
the only thing is when Loki like fake dies.
Yeah,
and it's not even that I enjoy it. It's just a scene that sticks out.
Or a scene that sticks out in my is when I forget her name, tries to touch the, what's it called, the ether.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, when she tries to touch the fucking ether, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Like,
yeah.
But that movie is just not good to me. It's just not good. Like I said, that's my number 1. That's my number. From what I remember, that is the only movie where I was like, yeah, that's just not a good movie.
I'm shocked that we only have one similar as far as the bottom 3 goes. Because I feel like my bottom 3 are like the most agreed upon. You know what I mean?
See, I think it's because you've rewatched the movies and I haven't, and I'm just going off strictly from memory and how I feel about the movies. And who knows? I think I might know what your number 1 is.
What do you think it is?
I'm thinking it's gonna be
I don't think you know, because I feel people forget about this movie.
I think you might choose Hulk.
It is Hulk. That's funny. Most people forget about this movie. Most people forget it's in part of the MCU. But yeah, Incredible Hulk is my number 1 worst movie.
I've only seen that. Like I said, I watched this movie when I was like, that movie came out like what, fucking 11 years ago.
Dude, I think it's been longer than that. I don't know. Look it up.
When the fuck did it come out?
When that movie came out, I was in high school when that movie came out, and I've been out of high school for 12 years. So it came out at least 13 years ago. I loved that movie when it came out, and I defended that movie for years. But when
Came out,
I rewatched it last year, probably what,
dude,
2009?
2008.
Oh,
So it came out
2008.
12 years ago, dude.
Yeah, see,
It came
I
out
was dead on.
12 years ago. I was 10 when it came out. So yeah, I remember watching this movie. But like I said, with Iron Man 2, we were broke when I was younger. I'm still broke. But like
Forever broke, dude. I get it. I feel that. I
I'm
me too.
so like we were like I remember back in the day going to movies was like this like treat that I went to like once or twice a year with like, and it wasn't even with my parents. My parents didn't take me. It was my aunt and my uncle that took me with my two cousins. Like they would give us money. They would give us money to go to the movies and get something to eat afterwards, and they'll just drop us off at the theater,
Yeah.
and we would go to the theater. And it wasn't even my parents that paid for it.
Yeah, me and my brother used to go to theaters like every weekend. Like it'd be my brother, my mom, and myself when we were really young. And then my dad he'd go gamble. We'd be at a Polish station.
hmm.
And when we got older, my parents would just drop us off and they'd go play.
Yeah. So, and I remember watching this movie. Like we bought it. I still remember. I still remember where we bought it. It was this taqueria, on Lake Mead and Nellis. It's still there, and the guy that sold like the bootleg movies, we bought this movie off of him because I wanted to watch it, and it was so low quality that I genuinely the only part that I remember is I think the Hulk or the other Hulk version. I'm throwing a tank.
Abomination or
Yeah,
something like that.
Abomination. I'm throwing a tank. That's all I remember. And I don't feel like that's enough for me to be like that's a bad movie. So it's a movie that I might have to have to watch and then like update my list, but I don't think I will.
The reason it's at the bottom of my list is because it just doesn't age well, like the CG and all that.
Mm.
Especially when you compare to, and obviously, again, it's 12 years old. I get that. Especially when you look at the Hulk now, I'm like,
Yeah, dude, I can imagine because I'm looking at a picture of the Hulk, like
he
on
looks
this.
like ass, dude.
Yeah, dude, he legit looks like made out of Play-Doh. It looks like if he was made out of Play-Doh. And I know that a fucking like a sound only podcast isn't like good when we talk about pictures, but let me tell you, Google Incredible Hulk 2008 and just look at that Hulk. He legit looks like he's made out of fucking Play-Doh, and it looks fucking horrible compared to
It's
the.
bad. It's so bad. And like the movie itself is an okay movie, but it's just so hard to look at it at times that's why it makes it's at the deadline. And a lot of people forget it's part of the MCU because it actually wasn't made by them, but it was in partnership.
And they had to change them. They had to change actors to Mark Ruffalo, which I think is fucking an amazing Bruce Banner.
Although I liked I forget his name, the original. I forget his name, but
Edward Norton.
there we go. He's a great actor too, but notoriously hard to work with.
I don't know actors. I don't know. I only know very few actors that I genuinely enjoy an actor, and some of the actors in the like Avengers, like the MCU.
Yeah. Either way, Mark Ruffalo's amazing, great change. But yeah, that's to me, it's the worst MCU movie, and it's kind of a cop out, like I said, because it wasn't made by the MCU, like them, you know what I mean? But it's whatever. It's still bottom of my list. That movie just didn't age well. That's the biggest problem with that movie. It's like it's not that it's a bad movie, it just didn't age well. It's so hard to look at. It's hilariously bad at times too.
Mm.
So that's the bottom. What we believe. Diego's dead wrong, especially with Guardians 2. But
I might be. Who knows?
you
But
are. It's a fact
like I said,
that you're wrong.
I just didn't enjoy the movie too much.
Now, top 3.
3. You can start it.
I'll start it this time. My number 3, and it was so hard to choose top 3. So, like, to me, 1 and 2 was kind of easy for me. the placement was a little hard, but choosing number 3 was difficult because there's a lot. MCU has a lot of great fucking films.
Dude, I know.
But my number 3.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Are
what's up?
Are you going to you don't have to tell me if it's in like are you gonna use Infinity War or Endgame in your top 3?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you?
I was debating it because those movies
They're so good. They're so good.
I'm not gonna I think as good as they are, I'm not gonna include because they're just too good. They're just too
It's kind of
good.
like it's like a cheat code.
Exactly. They're just too good. So I don't. If you use them, it's okay because I wanted to talk about them anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna use them because, like I said, they're just too good of movies. They took.
Spoiler, I only use one, but I'm not gonna say which one.
Okay.
Not yet, at least. All the both are fucking too good, but I didn't want to put 2 Avengers movies in my top 3, so
Yeah.
my number 3 is Guardians 1.
Oh.
I
Dude.
and
That's same for me. Same like Guardians 1 was my number 3.
oh, that's funny. That
Yeah.
movie, oh my
I
God.
love it, dude. It's one of it. It is so good, and that's what made me dislike Guardians 2 as much as I did, because I was expecting Guardians 1 again. Like I was expecting something at the same caliber of that.
Guardians 1 is, I believe, my most watched movie of the MCU that isn't an Avengers.
I can see why, dude. It's a really good movie.
Because it's like it's not too long. It's on the shorter end, and that movie just flows, man. It just flies. That movie is so fucking good. That's one, dude. I remember
It's fucking great.
I remember going into Guardians 1, and I'm like, and this everybody was talking about it at the time. Like, dude, Marvel has hit it out of the park almost every time. This is the one where they fuck up. This is the one where people don't care because this is
because no one really knew about the Guardians of the Galaxy as much as they knew about.
Because no one knows who these fucking people are. Like, who's Peter Quill? Like, I think I've seen that.
Drax.
I think I've seen that Rocket dude somewhere. Like,
dude, like Drax, dude. I've always been like a comic book guy, but when I was younger, when these movies were coming out, I didn't read them as much. But and the first time I saw Drax, I was like, Drax, Loki looks like a bad guy.
I didn't know who Drax was going in. I didn't know who Peter Quill was. I knew who Groot and Rocket were because of the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Yeah.
And then I knew who Gamora was, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's same thing with me, dude. I genuinely felt like when I went to go watch this, I thought that was gonna be the first movie where I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't a good movie, or I don't. And I went to go watch it, and I was like, well, I don't care about these characters. Like, I don't know them. There's no I felt like my mindset was like, oh, there's no Captain America, there's no Thor, there's no Iron Man, like there's no big MCU guys. I was like, I wasn't excited for the movie.
And not even only that though. Going into like these actors, it's not like it wasn't like, oh my god, these super big actors that they are now. You know what I mean?
Right? Like Dave Bautista, like I don't know, like he's a wrestler, no?
Yeah, he comes from WWE. Yeah,
I never watched wrestling, so I don't know him. This was before I had watched Parks and Rec fully, so I didn't really know him. Chris Pratt too well either.
Well, I knew Chris Pratt going in, but again, before this, he wasn't that big of an actor.
And see, I don't like Vin Diesel because the only movies he's in is The Fast and the Furious.
The biggest actor, in my opinion, going into Guardians 1 was freaking Rocket, which is what's his name from The Hangover.
I'm not good with celebrities.
Yeah, I forget his name too, but I think going in, Bradley Cooper, he was the biggest name, and he was a raccoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that movie was
the actress for Gamora. She's pretty famous too, but it wasn't like no freaking like Angelina Jolie, like that type of name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, that movie was fucking awesome.
To me, it's just like that movie's hilarious. it's just a feel good movie. The music,
The
like to me,
action is great, dude.
the
Like
action is great.
it was everything about it was just good, dude. And like that final fight scene where they do the fucking
The
dance,
dance,
dude. It was just I love Peter Quill so much. I think he is probably one of my favorite MCU characters. Like I could not see the role being played by anyone else
dude.
ever again. I genuinely, and I feel like the people like the I don't know how they did it, but the casting they got for these characters is spot on.
Well, to me, that's in general the MCU. That's one of the best things Disney has done is casting, because like, dude, like
I fucking Robert Downey Jr. Genuinely, I could not see another living soul.
as long as I live, I never want to see another Iron Man. I
Neither
just
do I.
don't.
I could not do it. I genuinely could not do it.
And I'm usually not these type of people where like, you know what?
Mm,
Give me a million reboots. I don't give a shit. I want more Batman. I want more Spider-Man. I don't care that you replace the actor. But with Iron Man, dude, I legit cannot see anybody else.
me neither, dude. I just
I
it's crazy
don't
that
want to see anybody
he
else.
even kind of looks like the fucking the Tony Stark from the comic books, dude.
Well, it's the same.
Like
They made him look like the Tony Stark from the comic book, and then he made the role so iconic that now the comic books look like him.
it's fucking crazy, dude. Like I love it. I
Like
just
when
love
you
it.
see Iron Man now in the comics or anywhere, they make him look like Robbie Downey Jr.
Yeah,
because
and
he just sold that
like,
he sold that role so well.
he knocked it out of the park. He knocked it out of the park. Like
And it's crazy, like I said, it's just so perfect because it's like considered one of the biggest like comebacks in Hollywood, where he was just a
yeah,
drug addict, a drunkie.
like no
And
one wanted to work with him. Like super like depressing, and they gave him his fucking break on Iron Man 1. And who would have thought that with that one movie, it would like rocket back his career to being like to what it is now.
I know it's crazy, and like you hear these stories of how such a good dude he is, where like he was fighting for his co-stars to get paid just as good as he was getting paid, like in the later movies. I'm like, but yeah, like I said, I can't picture anybody else but him. And
Yeah,
same like that, just in general, MCU is so good at casting, dude. Like,
right.
and for the most part, they cast actors that aren't that big.
Right? I don't really think none of the actors like
They're starting to cast big stars now, but even then, like for the future, like what's it called? Like the rumors are that fuck, they just casted somebody recently, like a big name. I don't even remember.
I
Angelina
think
Jolie, and like she's gonna be in one of the movies.
oh yeah, she's gonna be in the Eternals.
Eternals.
Eternals, yeah. She's gonna be I forgot what character, but I do remember that.
They just casted someone else. Freaking Batman. What's his name? The Dark Knight, the actor Christian Bale. He's
oh
been he's been
they
casted
hmm.
for.
I think I heard something about some other big actor being casted for an Eternals role because it was Angelina Jolie and someone else.
Well,
I don't
Eternals
remember.
has a lot of big names actors,
Yeah,
but I'm saying up until now they've done a good job of going with lesser name actors. I'm not saying brand new actors because all these actors have been around for a while, but
but they're
none
just not like AAA fucking like. They're just not.
exactly
They're not top tier. They're good actors, but they're not like.
like everybody and their mama knows them.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, either way, like I said, the casting for that movie amazing, and I just love Guardians. So like I said, I've seen, even though one of the other movies is higher on this list for me, even though I've seen Guardians more, it's just I just think this other movie is better. But I fucking love Guardians.
Okay, so
I might watch it once we're done. Honestly,
yeah.
just talking
so
about it makes me want to watch it.
so since we both had the same number 3,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with my number 2.
Go for it.
Which is Captain America: Civil War.
Okay, that's a good choice. That's a really good choice.
I fucking love this movie. I remember going to the theater when I watched it and being mind blown on how good it was. Like the fucking fight was super interesting. Like I love the way that they introduced them Spider-Man because I love Spider-Man and Tom Holland. Holy fucking shit! I
What a
didn't put,
premiere for Tom Holland.
dude. I didn't put any of his movies on my top 3, but both movies are fucking great. If I'm gonna have honorable mentions, they're there because
So Homecoming, both the Spider-Man movies are one of the ones I struggle with at my number 3 spot because I'm like, they're both so good.
which one did you like more? Homecoming or Far From Home?
So it's tough, dude. To me, they're both just as good, but Far From Home. And the only reason I put Far From Home over Homecoming is because Mysterion, oh my god,
Or whatever his name is.
Mysterio, whatever, they knocked out of the park with him. Like,
Yeah, dude, the actor, what's his name? Is like something
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Gilbert. Oh,
and
Jake.
I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan, and the fight scenes, oh my god,
Yeah, they were good. I think I liked Homecoming more. For no reason. They were both like fucking great. But
yeah.
I just think I liked Homecoming more. But
So
if I
yeah,
had
back to Civil War.
like like, before we start sucking fucking Spider-Man's dick for too long, Civil War, I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. Like
That
I
movie
knew
has so many amazing moments, dude.
I knew that I was gonna love it before it even came out.
So I'm somebody that okay, so when Iron Man came out, growing up, I've always liked superheroes. I've read
Same.
some comics, not a lot, but I
Same.
grew up on the cartoons though. I grew up on X-Men from the 90s, Spider-Man, Batman, all those cartoons.
Same here.
So when Iron Man 1 came out, I remember I was excited. And after it was done, I'm like, dude, this movie's awesome. I need to read comic books. So that's when I started, like a little bit after that, I started getting into comic books. And Civil War was one of those ones where, because I remember I did my research, like which ones are the storylines, the completed storylines that I need to read, and that was one of those. And it's a great fucking story. That comic series is so good.
Yes.
So going
Super
into
good.
this movie, I was like, fuck, dude. How can they do justice when the comic book has like 100 fucking heroes fighting, and this one's only gonna have like 16?
Mm-hmm.
But
And
somehow
they fucking knocked it out of the park.
knocked it
Somehow.
out of the fucking park, dude. That fight scene on the airport is
So good. So good.
so
Like,
every
dude,
one of them
like,
gets their moment. Like every single one of them gets their moment in that fight scene, like where they come out like a complete badass.
I know, dude. There was just so much good stuff about this movie. Like, one thing that I absolutely loved is how they introduced 2 badass characters. Or did they introduce some Ant-Man in this?
No, he already had his. So this
His
was the
movie was already
introduction of Black Panther and
and
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man. Okay. I didn't remember too well.
both who came off as badasses in this
Dude,
movie.
I remember like when I saw fucking Black Panther, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I was like, "That is fucking badass." Like the way
So
that they just like
badass.
he just pops up and he just like fucking who does he attack? I forget if it was
Winter Soldier.
Bucky. Yeah, Bucky,
Yeah.
right? And I was
Dude,
like, "Dude, this
that
guy is
scene
fucking."
where they're chasing him on like underneath the freeway, wherever they're on the streets.
Dude, I know, and he's like fucking like running across the fucking cars, like hanging on. I was like, dude, what the actual fuck is going on? That looks so badass. And then when they're in the airport and fucking Spider-Man just comes fucking flinging and takes Iron Man, not Iron Man's, Captain America's shield.
Hey guys.
I
Yeah.
was like, hey guys, remember the fucking memes?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just fucking great. I absolutely loved it.
That
And
movie's
then
so good, dude.
just the airport scene was great, but do you remember that fucking fight scene? Like the way that it was like a single, like shot.
Oh, the 2-on-1.
Yeah, fucking great, dude. Fucking great. I'm when the movie came out. Remember how everyone was like, "Oh, are you Team Captain America?" Team Iron Man. I was always a Team Iron Man guy, and
So
that fight scene made me love him even more because even against the two badass characters, he was still putting up a fucking fight. That it had to be a 2-on-1 for them to win. And
I was always Team Captain America, but
so this is where we end the
was
podcast.
Iron Man was definitely on the right side of history in that moment, though. Where Bucky at that had done a lot of bad shit, killed his parents. He has every fucking right to be pissed off.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, that
Thing,
fight
dude,
scene
it was
when
fucking great.
when Captain America throws a shield, bounces off, and
Bucky catches it.
yeah,
Like, it's so good, so fucking good.
Dude, I'm gonna go on a MCU binge after this.
Dude, or even the fight scene when Spider-Man beats the shit out of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, dude, when they're running to the inside the part of the airport,
yeah, dude, even that scene was hella good. Or when Ant-Man shows off his secret move where he could go like when he goes big. I was like,
oh
dude,
yeah,
what?
Giant Man.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna do it, but they did it, and I was like, they did the thing with the man that gets big. I was like, oh shit, and it was great.
And then that's when the whole Spider-Man with the movie reference. Like, you guys ever seen that old movie, Star Wars?
The Phantom Menace or whatever he said?
No, it wasn't Phantom Menace. It was the old
it
school ones.
Yeah,
the AT-ATs or the ATs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, the AT-ATs. Dude, yeah, it was so good. So fucking good.
God, that movie is it's so amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but I know for a fact that it's going to hold up because
it holds up. I watch that movie every couple months
because it's so good, dude. Like
so good.
I remember when the first time I watched it, and this what's the other War Machine's name?
War Machine, Iron Man and War Machine.
I know, but what's his actual name? Not his made up name, like whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'll say War Machine. I remember when War Machine got hit by Vision's
Vision. Yeah.
I was beam. And the way that he just fucking falls, like with no fucking music, and he just closes his eyes. I was like, oh no.
Dude, for a second, like, are they really gonna kill this dude off?
Dude,
like,
I felt my fucking my heart drop because I was like, I didn't really care for the character, but we still hadn't seen any major deaths in the MCU, and I was like, if that's how he dies, I was like, oh my god. And he didn't die, thankfully.
No, I know.
But
no, that was
spoiler
wild.
warning. Yeah. Spoiler warning, though. Like, I know it's a 4-year-old movie. If you haven't watched it, then fucking.
No, we're going into spoilers with these movies because it's MCU. Everybody, you should have seen them by now.
Yeah. So good, though. So fucking good.
So my number 2 is also an Iron Man. I mean, yeah, an Iron Man, Captain America movie, but Winter Soldier.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. We've already had this conversation a long time ago, and I said that even as good of a movie as it is, I didn't really care for it.
That movie to me is damn near perfect. Honestly, it might just be a perfect movie. To me, that's a perfect like spy movie, an espionage movie. It's so fucking good. It's so well written. Is
that when they find out that that some company that they're working for is working for Hydra?
Yeah, it's pretty much when you find out everyone's fucking working for Hydra, and the whole meme started, the Hell Hydra.
Yeah,
that movie is so freaking amazing. It's so good. Captain America on the run. He's finally being a badass. He's no longer being the goody two shoes. Like, he is being a goody two shoes, but like not in the sense where he's
like they have to go into hiding. Like he's like a vigilante at that point.
Exactly, and it's so free that I love this. I don't again, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier. When although I've seen Guardians more, Winter Soldier is still better to me as a movie, as a complete movie. It's just so good. I haven't seen Winter Soldier as much as I've seen some of these other movies. It's just because it's a heavily story based movie that you kind of have to be in a certain mood to watch it. but in my eyes, it's still. I've seen this movie like 20 times, maybe actually probably more than that. But it's so good. Like the story is so great. There's so many good action scenes in that movie too.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this one because, like I said, I don't. The first time I watched it, I watched it in the theaters, and it was a good movie, but I don't remember it being as good as people say it is. Because whenever I see like people's lists or I see like websites that have like their list of the top Marvel movies, it's always up there. It's always up there, and I just don't remember it enough for me to be like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember watching it and coming out and being like, okay, cool, whatever. Like I don't. It's not a bad movie, but it's also not a great movie.
For the longest, it was my number one. For the longest, I don't know what it was. I watched it in the theaters, and I just loved every second of that movie. It just clicked with me. I loved everything about it. And for the longest, movies would come out, and I'm like, Winter Soldier's still better. Winter Soldier's still better. But now it's no longer my number one, but it's still my number two. And then to me,
Want to know what my number one is?
yeah, go
My
ahead.
number one is Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh, that one again. That one was
I
close
fucking
in my number three.
that's my favorite movie. I genuinely think that's my favorite movie out of all the MCUs because the music is fucking great. Dude, the fucking action scene where he's fighting on the bridge with all that fucking lightning was so fucking good.
To me,
I remember I had I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about that scene. Like it was so good.
That one was the closest one to knocking Guardians out off the list.
I'm surprised it didn't make your list, dude. Honestly, like I thought we were gonna agree on that and Guardians, because I think those two movies, in my opinion, like for being standalone films, are, in my opinion, the best standalone films.
Dude, Ragnarok is so fucking good. It's so
yeah, it's fucking great. Like that fucking, I love that scene where they're in the little like I forgot the planet like that they're on. Where he's about to fight Hulk. Where he's about to fight Hulk.
Yeah.
And he gets happy because it's his friend, but the Hulk is like just going on a rampage.
Like, oh yeah, I know him. We work together.
It's so good. I just love that movie.
You know what my favorite scene of that whole movie? It's like, it's such a non-essential scene, but it's my absolute favorite.
I see what you did there.
I did not do that on purpose, but my favorite scene of that whole movie is when he's in the chair and he's like looks like he's going through the tunnel, and they start playing the Willy Wonka music, and he's like going faster and faster and faster, and it's like he's like yelling like a little girl.
Yeah,
and then he's just right there sitting in front of the Grandmaster, and it's just, to me, that scene is so funny. It's so good.
One of my favorite characters,
especially because Willy Wonka is one of my favorite movies too. It is just so funny to me.
Yeah, I just love that movie so much. One of my favorite characters in that movie, I forget his name, but the dude made from rocks, that's in the prison cell with him. What's that his name?
Yeah, Korg.
I fucking love him. He is so funny. He is such a fucking like wholesome character, and I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
Hey, you want to start Revolution?
Dude,
I got some pamphlets.
Dude, fuck. I absolutely love it. Love him so fucking much.
So it's so funny. The director of this one is Taika Waititi, something like that. I always confuse his name.
I can look it up. I have a list right here.
So he does the voice of Korg. That dude, that director,
Taika
Waititi, yeah. He's also that guy. He's funny as shit. I love his movies. He also made this one called Jojo Rabbit, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. It was my favorite movie of last year. If you haven't seen it, watch it. And he's gonna do Thor: Love and Thunder, and I cannot fucking wait.
Dude. Going back to last week's episode, and if you haven't heard, go ahead and go watch that. I'm so sad that it got delayed to 2021. And after this whole coronavirus thing, we had to expect that it was going to get delayed.
Yeah.
But to think that I have to wait like almost 2 years to watch it, because Thor is probably one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
Dude,
Not even.
that opening scene in Ragnarok when he's just spinning on the chain.
Yeah.
Like, what, 1 second. Let me do the full rotation. It's so good, dude.
Funny. So funny. I just love him, dude. Like,
It's crazy, dude. When you look at Thor 1 to Thor Ragnarok, like how much they evolved Thor the character.
fucking great. Fucking great. But hold on, before we, because we can have a conversation. We're gonna have that conversation after this. So let's cut that. Let's don't even say anything more on that because
Okay,
I have
you're
a few
right.
things.
You're right.
I have a few things
You're
to say
right.
about that.
You're right.
What's your number one? What's your number one? And then we'll get into the best trilogy.
So what do you think is my number one? Obviously, it's one of the Avengers.
Dude, I don't know because so I like Endgame. I personally think I would like Endgame more. Just because
So
the act.
my number one is Endgame
Okay,
for
but
many
Infinity War,
reasons.
dude. But Infinity War, that movie is fucking great.
To
There's so
me,
many scenes in in Infinity War. If you want, we could either talk about either or first because I have a lot to say about both of them.
so I was gonna say, although it's Endgame, I consider these movies as one.
Same. But you have to like for this list, we would have to put them apart because if we're gonna think about them as one movie, they would have been both our number ones in my opinion.
Exactly.
Because they're
To
so good.
And I get people don't agree with this, but to me, Endgame is flawless. When you think, dude, when you take to account like 12 years in the making, 13 years, whatever it is, all coming together, all hinting at this when we first started with the first ever Thanos hint, whenever that movie was. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
It was in the first, never mind. It was the first Avengers movie. That's the first time we got a hint at Thanos. 10 years later, we get Endgame, and you're like, dude, it's been 10 years. They've been hyping up Thanos for all these movies.
And he did not disappoint, dude.
They've been leading into all
Fuck.
this, and you're like, how can they possibly live up to the hype? But holy shit, they lived up to the hype.
Dude, fuck, it was so good. If you want, we can just talk about the like
Together. Like,
together. Because
for argument and list sakes, Endgame is my number one, but we're gonna talk about them together.
yeah, because
I can't talk about one without the other.
Like I said, dude, they're just so good that I didn't want to put them in my list because I knew that they could make my 1 and 2 positions because they're that good. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna give like praise to the other movies before I talked about these because I was gonna want to talk about these from like either way. So
because I remember going in, they're like, oh, originally they're like, oh, it's gonna be Infinity War Part 1, Part 2, and then they're like, just kidding, it's only gonna be one Infinity War movie, and everyone's like, what do you mean just one? Like Thanos is such a badass, he can't just wrap his story up in one, and obviously ended up being like a bamboozled, and they made it a 2-part movie,
dude,
anyways.
tell me that scene at the end of Infinity War when he does the fucking snap and everything just dies and the fucking screen cuts to just Avengers Infinity War. Tell me that was not one of the fucking craziest bamboozle moments ever. I remember coming out of the theater absolutely shocked that they did that. That they
Dude,
fucking killed half of the characters and that's how they ended the movie with
it
no
was
hope.
one of the most demoralizing endings where going in, I said they fucking better end this movie with Thanos on top. Is what I thought. But I'm like, it's Disney, it's Marvel. They're not gonna do it. They're gonna give us this happy ending, and
Dude, that's exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought.
And when they did it, I was in shock. I
Same.
had no words. I'm like, they did it. Oh my god, I don't know how to feel right now. I don't know what to say.
And then we had to wait a year, dude, for Endgame. And we didn't even know what that movie was called. We didn't know if anything about it. Like we still had to wait a year, and it was still a couple months until we got like
dude.
of like hints about it. It was absolutely
That scene, after the snap, where Doctor Strange was like, "We're in the end game now." It's like, especially now that you know the movie's called Endgame, like
yeah,
that
like
scene just hits a little different.
yeah, exactly.
Even back
Dude,
then, and then everyone getting snapped away. I'm like in tears watching this movie.
dude, that scene where Spider-Man is going away and he's like hugging Tony Stark, and he's like, "I don't want to go, Mr. Stark." Fucked me up. Fucked me up. That oh my god, that was
And then
so good.
Robert Downey Jr. afterwards, like the way he sells it, where it's like he's like hugging him, and he's just kind of like you see in his eyes, like what the fuck is happening, like,
Like
and
just like completely like lost.
he
That
just looks at his hand, kind of like what the fuck, like,
so good. Or
or
even
like
when they're fighting on Titan, dude. That like I told you the other day, when this scene, I don't think I'll ever like. They could never do this in another movie, and it be the same. This was such a good fucking fight scene that I will never like. I genuinely don't know if they could ever like have a fight to this scale and beat it. Was when they're fighting Thanos on Titan,
yeah, it's such a
and
good fight
Thanos
scene.
uses a fucking power stone to destroy a fucking moon and throw it at fucking Tony. Like, I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
And
I
that's
was
the
like,
other thing I really liked when he's fighting again. When he's fighting, they're fighting on the Titan planet. How he's using like the different stones to fight him off. It's just
right,
badass. You know what I mean?
so good. Or when Doctor Strange, like he splits himself up into like lots of different versions, and he just uses his fucking whip magic.
Yeah.
So good.
And
Or
then
or
Thanos
when
uses the reality stone to stop him.
yeah, or when
So
fucking
good.
when Tony's fighting him, dude, and he does like the fucking like the fluidity of Tony fighting Thanos, where he like stomps on his fucking hand and fucking blasts him, and the quick thinking that Tony has to do to fucking fight him. When like half his suit was destroyed, but he was still putting up a
A
fucking
fight.
fight on a 1v1 fight against Thanos with the fucking power glove. I was like, dude, I am in love. I cannot fucking breathe because this movie
The
is so good.
badassness and even the emotions in this movie, like I said, when Peter Quill finds out that he killed Gamora, it's like even to this day, it still gets me. I was like, "Fuck, dude," and like he just kind of like losing his mind, like, "No, no, you didn't have to," and he just starts punching him.
Right.
Or the afterwards, though, did we lose? Like it's like the demoralization that you just feel, and then DC Thanos on Earth just fucking everybody up.
Just beating the shit out of everybody, dude. Like that scene where he fucking takes the soul stone out of fucking Vision.
Vision's head.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
dude, what fuck? You're horrible. I hate you. I was like, how? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? But so good, so fucking good.
And that's just Infinity War
Yeah, that's just Infinity, and even then, there's so much more
that
to
we
Infinity
didn't talk
War.
about. I know.
Like when fucking Thor comes down with the Stormbreaker, when he comes onto fucking Earth, when he gets it with the
With
Bifrost,
Groot and Rocket, yeah,
dude, fuck, that was so badass.
it's
That was so
so
badass.
badass,
He's just fucking swinging his fucking axe around, destroying everything. Just,
dude. That whole fight on Wakanda, it's so
dude,
good.
how will they ever top that in any movie? How?
Never. I just don't.
How?
I don't.
I don't even think they could top it because it was just so fucking good.
Because realistically, can they? I don't think they could. Can they really do another slow build to whoever the next villain is, whether it be Galactus, whoever it may be?
I don't know, dude. Like, I just they can. Of course, there's enough content in like
No,
the
I know, but like, I don't. I don't think I want to wait another 12 years for another epic movie like this. You know what I mean?
I don't know, dude. I just don't know. That movie was they were just so good. And I think they got me in the perfect time because the movie started coming out when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I watched them.
Forget how
like,
young you are.
Right? I forget that our age differences is pretty big. Like I forget how old Gonde is, and you and him are around the same age.
Yeah, we're the same age.
And it's crazy to me that like I just got lucky with the time that they were making these movies because I watched them when I was younger, like, and I've always been a fucking nerd, so I've always enjoyed these movies.
I will say
And
this: these little kids that are growing up on these movies,
I
I
feel bad
can't.
for them, dude.
No,
I ju-
I'm good for them. Like it's awesome. Like
dude, see, I used to think like that too, but I think the cynic in me is kind of like they can't get better than this. I'm like, they'll never. I don't think they'll ever experience the thing that we experienced of waiting, like of watching a movie, seeing the end credit scene, and then having to theory craft.
because
Like,
I'm
oh,
like, dude, I think back to when I was a kid, and like what superhero movies I had. Like I had the Batman movies, and
the Dark
not
Knight movies.
no. Well, I was a little older with those. I'm talking about Batman Forever,
Oh,
Batman and Robin. And I loved these movies when I was a kid. I thought these movies were awesome. They're fucking utter crap. I
the
grew up
Batman credit card, or the Batsuit with the nipples.
exactly. I had the OG X-Men growing up.
Oh god, I
And
watched those movies too, and I loved them, but they were bad. They were
they
bad.
didn't age well at all. This is what I'm saying. But these kids today, I growing up on the fucking MCU. And that's fucking awesome.
But
And they're
see,
so lucky.
but I don't know if they'll ever get the same feel. Like, I don't know if they will ever do what they did with Infinity War, where they managed to have such a fucking somber, like, like sad, like just that dark ending that they had in Infinity War. I don't know if they'll ever have that. Like, imagine waiting 10 years for Disney to shit down your throat. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Like,
But then come back a year later and
and
fucking
give you one of the fucking best movies ever made. Like,
so let's like I said, there's so much I could spend another hour talking about Infinity War.
same.
But let's
Same.
go. Let's move on to Endgame and the masterclass that dude. And half the movie of Endgame is like the greatest hits of MCU when they're doing the time travel stuff, and
Right.
you
And
get to relive some of these scenes, like when they go to New York for the Avengers fight, when the first Avengers movie. Because I remember the feeling of that movie.
dude, same. Remember that scene where where they barely go back in time, and I forget. I think it was Captain America, Tony Stark, and Bruce Banner just standing in like the middle of the street, and the
Yeah,
old Hulk comes in just like rampaging,
smashing.
smashing everything, and is like, I can do that. And the fucking Bruce Banner is like, he flips, like he like just pushes over a car or something, like pretending to be upset. I fucking loved
So
it.
funny.
So
He's like,
the way that
he's doing his little fake growls.
the way that they managed to mix comedy with the action and the tone of the movie, like being serious but funny, is genius in
It's
my opinion.
genius. Yeah.
It's genius. Like, I didn't think I would laugh as much as I laughed in
Because
such
like
a high stressful situation that they were in.
because remember how the movie started very fucking sad.
Hmm.
Like it's like it's been years. And you see Tony and what's her face?
Um, fuck, I know her name.
I know. I feel like a fake fan for not
What the
knowing her
fuck is her
name.
name? I can always look it up, but
Yeah,
I don't want to. But
them
I'm going
playing the little football and that's
Nebula. That's what it
Nebula.
was,
And it just like when she finally wins, it's like such a genuinely nice little moment between them.
right?
Where she's like she kind of looks confused and he's like, "You won. Congratulations." Shakes her hand. And she's like, "I like that." But then you see Tony Stark kind of accepting his death, and it's kind of like, "Fuck, that's sad."
And he's sitting there in front of his helmet, like recording.
Yeah. Then you see freaking Captain America and that like AA meeting
Oh yeah,
of people trying to recover, and that's depressing. Then you see Black Widow having that meeting, Natasha,
with
and she
with
like breaks down afterwards
yep,
because everything's gone to shit, and then freaking what's his name?
looking for Hawkeye. And
Hawkeye,
Hawkeye's just like
yeah.
murdering people like all over the world. so good. That the beginning of the movie, dude, like it's as slow and as like sad as it is. They had to do it. They had to do it that way.
Oh, and it starts off with a freaking Hawkeye and his daughter, and that shit's so sad. Oh my god! And then, like you said, once they, oh, there's so much. There's so much. I could talk hours about this movie.
Dude, it's just because they're so good. They're both so good.
Oh, when they start time traveling, like I said, you see the New York thing, but you also when you see Peter Quill, and you get that scene from Guardians 1, but from like the
From
other
like the
person's
side.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't hear the music, so you just hear his terrible singing, and it's just so fucking funny.
So good, dude. So good.
That scene with Natasha and when they get the Soul Stone, that's so sad.
I was on Reddit and I was spoiled on who was gonna die in the movie.
Oh, I didn't get spoiled for me.
But watching it, I still cried. I still fucking cried.
It's so funny. Going in, I feel like most people assumed it was gonna be Hawkeye. So like it was like a nice little twist because I don't know. To me it just felt like, oh, it's gonna be Hawkeye. Like,
I wish it was Hawkeye though, because I liked.
But it makes sense that it wasn't him because he has a family.
See, I don't care about that. I care that they took Scarlett Johansson away from me. That's what I'm mad about.
That's why they had to make a prequel, because they're not going to get rid of Scarlett that easy. And then there's so
much that we can talk about, dude.
And I still want to talk. I'm still talking a little more, but like, what else?
Hold on. Before we talk about anything else, that intro scene where they fucking murder the shit out of Thanos, like the original Thanos, it's
so good.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Where he's just farming, dude. He's just like in his little thatch hut on like the top of a fucking like mountain in a fucking planet.
I didn't expect them to kill him like that. Did you?
Me neither. I did not expect it at all. I was like, my fucking my jaw was on the floor when I saw that, because I was like, dude.
And you know what's so amazing about that scene? Where like when I think it was Rocket, like, Thor, what you do? And he's like, I went for the head, which is a nice little callback to the end of Infinity War, where Thanos was like, you should have gone for the head, and then he snaps. So what does Thor say? I went for the head, and I'm like, fuck, how genius writing this movie is. You know what I mean?
Even though that's like common sense, like I don't think any other line there would fit. But still, though, like,
but still, so the fact that they did it,
so good. Like, I don't know when that happened, I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, that is fucking crazy.
And then the whole, like, again, Captain America beating the OG Captain America, and where he's like, even he himself's like, fuck, I used to be such a piece of shit, like such a goody two shoes.
Yeah,
I could do this all day. I know.
Or Thor, I'm not being fat.
Dude,
that's that's fucking hilarious. Like, one of my favorite scenes in that movie was when he goes into the past and he's talking to his mom. And
it's so depressing, that scene, though.
Yeah, but one of my favorite scenes though was when he's calling out for Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And it comes to him and he's like, I'm still worthy. I'm still worthy. Dude, that was such a feel good scene. I was like, fuck, dude. I'm tearing up now thinking about it, because the way it made me feel when I watched the movie, it was so fucking heartwarming. Because like we were saying, I still have a lot to talk about with Thor, because he's my favorite MCU character.
And him, like I said, him talking to his mom and getting like closure
over everything, dude. Everything, and him finally becoming like as badass as he was, like him finally accepting everything that happened, and that he can't do anything about it.
And then Rocket's comedic release.
Yeah.
Like Thor's like, I have nothing to lose. Like, well, I got stuff to lose. Like the Rocket's like, well, other people have stuff to lose. I got stuff to lose. I can lose stuff, okay? It's just so funny, like, the subtlety of it.
Even Rocket's one of my favorite characters. I'm really excited for Thor being part of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
So we don't know that yet. Like they've so when the movie ends, that's your assumption. But
I hope
when interviews with Kevin Feige and even Taika Waititi and what's his name, the Guardians of the Galaxy director
James Gunn.
James Gunn, they've all kind of like, we don't know, we'll see. And
See,
so,
I just hope it's like one of those situations where they don't want to spoil anything because I think I love the character like dynamic
dude,
with her.
Quill with Thor is a fun. Every scene there, the two scenes are in there together is so funny.
Right.
The one in Infinity War where he's kind of like flexing on him about who's the captain.
Was that Infinity War?
When well they do it twice because Infinity War before he goes to nowhere to make the Stormbreaker.
Oh
Well, not
yeah.
nowhere, not nowhere. I forgot where he goes to. Nowhere's the other place. Either way,
It's like that one star.
where
I what it's called.
where Quill starts doing his voice. He starts to act all tough, but then they do it again at the end of Endgame too, which is hilarious. Yeah, of course you're in charge. We all know that.
So going back to Endgame, this is another scene, dude. I have one problem with Endgame, and I don't even want to say it because I don't want to give anyone the bad idea.
What?
The whole that scene, and it's the same scene that everyone doesn't like. It's the scene where they had to shoehorn the whole like all the woman heroes defending Spider-Man. I did not feel like that scene fit in there.
I liked it. I don't care. I liked it. I thought it was awesome.
That was the one and only scene where I was kind of like,
don't be that guy, Diego.
And I don't want to be that guy, and I am not that guy.
I know you're not. I like that scene. I actually like that scene a lot. It was bad. Because, dude, to me, that Endgame in general, especially the second half of that movie, is pretty much just fan service.
Dude, that scene. This scene is one of those scenes, dude, where we'll go down in like movie history.
Captain America.
When Captain America, when Thanos is still beating the shit out of them, and he's about to fucking kill Thor with Stormbreaker, and Captain America fucking calls Mjolnir and catches it. I was fucking hyped. I don't. It's another one of those scenes, dude, where I don't think they could ever remake anything even as close to that because it was so good.
We watched Endgame together, right?
No.
Dude, no. Either way, when I want to go see it, dude, that theater blew up.
Same, dude. Same.
I still get pumped when I see that scene. Like, I jump out of my seat every time I see that scene. I know it's coming, but fuck, dude.
I'm expecting it. Like,
is one of the greatest scenes of all movies ever. Like,
yeah, so good.
Because I remember when they teased it in Age of Ultron when he kind of moves the hammer a little bit, and Thor looks all like nervous and shit.
See, that goes back into what I was saying, dude. That character development of like at first when Thor was like, "Oh no, like he might be worthy," but at the end, and like he was scared.
At the end, he was happy though. He's like, "I knew it."
Like that just proves the amount of character development that Thor has had.
And not only so, first off, when freaking Captain America gets the hammer, but how he uses it compared to Thor, like he uses it different. Like, fuck, when he throws the hammer, throws the shield, smacks the shield with the hammer, then drags the hammer on the floor to throw thunder at Thanos is such a fucking badass little sequence by Captain America.
I know that
it's so good.
Everything about that scene is so fucking good, and I love that the entire like final war part that they're in so much.
Dude, that whole war is like an hour, and it doesn't feel like it.
Dude, and it feels like this. It feels like this, dude. Like it's insane. But the ending to that, where Iron Man dies, spoilers.
Before we get to that, there's a few more scenes I wanna highlight. When like the despair is in his eyes, and then he hears the "on your left," like, and then the tunnels will start opening up, and I'm like, oh, that shit's that to this day it gets me all emotional when I watch it. It's so good. and he finally, for the first time in the entire series, says "Avengers Assemble." Because every other time he gets interrupted or something happens, he doesn't actually say it.
Mhm.
What a great payoff for the ones that care, the ones it's a subtlety.
Right.
And then go ahead.
Something that a lot of people, I don't know if people just don't see it or if I just understand it differently, was so you know how in Infinity War, Doctor Strange said there is one option.
Yeah,
There's one way to win.
I know what you're gonna say, and to me, it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie when
And
he
you
throws
know,
the one up.
yeah, when he does one, a lot of people say that he was pointing upward, saying Thanos can't fly, just fly up in the sky.
No,
And
he's saying this is the one.
he knew what he had to do. Tony knew what he had to do when he got the Infinity Stones.
I'm
And
legit
Doctor
getting
Strange
emotional right now. I got
and
goosebumps, dude.
and Doctor Strange knew that what he had to do, and he was like, "No, Tony, I know you're trying to think. It's like I'm sorry, but this is the one and only way that we're gonna win this." And
I agree with you. I don't think most people catch that, and I catch that. And to
dude,
me,
and
that's why
it made it that much more sad, dude.
it's
Because
one. That's why it's one of my favorite scenes because he kind of looks at Doctor Strange like, "Is this it, dude? Do I have to do what I think I have to do?"
like asking, like it looked like the way his face looked was like, "Please tell me there's another way." But
And
the way
even
that the Doctor Strange is like, he looks so sad, and he's like just the one, and he
that's what I'm
fucking
saying. When Doctor Strange throws up the one, it's not like, "Oh my god, yes, I'm so happy. This is the one." It's a
it
like,
was like, fuck, no, please tell me something else. And then when fucking when Thanos is like I am inevitable and inevitable, and he does the snap and he doesn't snap, and fucking Tony says, I'm Iron Man. Boom. I was like, oh my fucking god, dude. I am going to shit myself.
what a perfect dialogue. I couldn't think of better words that he could have said right there in that moment.
Honestly, dude. Like I don't know what he could have said that would literally I don't think anything would be better.
It's so good.
Like if he said quiet, it would feel stupid and weird.
And then before we get to that, my other favorite moment of that like battle when Spider-Man turns instant kill mode on.
All right, that's fucking
like finally, like they teased it in the other movie like a few times. Do you want to use instant kill? Like no, I don't know. And then this one he's finally like instant kill and fucking just starts murdering.
like just like a massacre of those little fucking like alien dog things or whatever the fuck they were. And I was just like, oh my god. The little scene where where Spider-Man comes back and Iron Man is like hugs him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dude, that's so sweet. Such a fucking there's so many scenes like that in this movie, dude.
So
where I
many
watched
little scenes, yeah.
And I just it made my heart melt a little bit because it was so adorable, and that was one of those.
Like, oh, this feels nice. Like he doesn't know why he's being hugged,
but he just accepts it.
Yeah.
Like so good.
And yeah, like I said, the whole Iron Man, the ending, the whole him snapping, dying with Pepper Potts, and Spider-Man crying, like it's so beautifully handled. And in the very end, his funeral, where Happy's talking to the daughter, like, "What do you want to eat?" And she's like, "Hamburgers." It's like it's a callback to the first Iron Man movie.
It's like, I'll buy you as many hamburgers as you want.
It's like
I was like, no, don't do this to me. I'm already crying enough.
I was like, I'm already here getting choked up just even thinking about it. It's so
right?
freaking good. Do you got anything else? Like we're already running a little long here. Anything else to say before we move on?
Nah, dude. I think we covered basically. Of course, there's more scenes that we could.
I could talk about this,
dude. Yeah, we could talk about. We could nitpick every little fucking scene, and there would be something to talk about. But I think
we might do that at some point in the future.
Maybe like if we ever feel like talking about it again. Yeah, not today. We're already like at an hour and like
hour and 20. So going into our final topic of the day, who has the best trilogy? Thor, which is Thor 1, Thor 2, Dark World, and Thor Ragnarok. Captain America with Captain America 1, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Captain America Civil War, or Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
So
for me, Captain America.
And I knew you were going to say that. And movie-wise, I think you're right. just because fucking Thor, Dark World is
It,
such
it
a fucking stinky diaper, fucking like
it's
just
such an
load of shit,
it's
like
such an anchor of a movie for that trilogy.
that it just sucks. And then Iron Man, like they're not bad, but they're not as good as the thing with
The
Captain
problem with the
America.
Iron Man movies is that they came first.
Yeah, so they didn't have enough, like they didn't have enough pieces to like incorporate. And I get it. I get what you're saying.
Because I want to say Iron Man's 1, 2, and 3 came out before like even Captain America 2 came out, and maybe even Thor 2 came out.
I think you might be right. No, I think Thor 2 came out at around the same time as like 2 or 3 for Iron Man. But I
Mm-hmm.
think Winter Soldier and Civil War came out after them. But the thing that that I think is unfair with the Captain America trilogy is that Civil War is such a good movie.
It's pretty
It-
much an Avengers movie.
and it's pretty much an Avengers movie. That the only reason that it's not is because Thor and the Hulk aren't part of them. But they had to remove those two guys from from the like the fights because they are just too OP. And
Yeah.
I even think Wanda is really OP, and they didn't do her enough justice in the movies. I think she's underpowered in the movies
Well,
compared to her comic book self.
for now,
Yeah,
but with
for
the
now.
whole WandaVision, they're supposed to like really unleash her powers.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem because
But
like
the
she's
one
still
thing
strong.
I liked about her that they redeemed her, or not redeemed, but they showed how strong she was she could have killed Thanos in Endgame. Remember that?
Hmm.
Where she had him in his clutches, where he's like, "I don't even know who you are," and she's like, "You will." And then she freaking grabs him. He's like fucking screaming like to shoot the whatever, I forgot what he calls it,
Yeah, the fucking Hellfire or whatever,
hellfire, whatever. Yeah.
and he just scorches his fucking like everything.
Otherwise, she would have killed him right there.
I think so, and if not killed, like maimed, like
Exactly. But either way, so what is your vote? I guess so.
um
You, as far
I
as movies goes, you say Captain America does.
Captain America, but I just love Thor so much, and I love the story of Thor. I think,
Thor has the best character development over the three.
but even I think character development wise, the one that lacks the most is Captain America.
I don't think so.
I think it's Thor, Tony.
I guess so. Just
I
because
think it's Thor, Tony, and then Captain America, and they all had great stories. They all had great stories, but the way that I just think Thor being like, I just love Thor. I love every scene he's in. He's fucking hilarious. He's badass. Like the story, like of him like accepting not being worthy in the first movie, and then becoming worthy to become like the God of Thunder again, and everything that happens with him, I fucking love. I love it all.
where do you sit on Captain America 1?
Captain America 1. I don't
Yeah,
remember it too well, dude.
the
I don't.
one Red Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull, and
I like the movie a lot. A lot of people hate it because it's a slow movie, and it is.
I don't remember it being bad. So that's a plus, right?
Yeah.
That's a plus. So I don't remember it being bad. I also don't remember it being great.
Like I said, right now, who has the best trilogy right now is a current debate on like online, and there's a lot of supporters for Iron Man, which is like kind of crazy to me because it's like, to me, Captain America has 2 classic movies, and to me, none of the Iron Man movies are classics. Like oh my god, that movie is a fucking amazing 10 out of 10 movie.
Like
And
I
to
said,
me,
dude.
Winter Soldier and Civil War are 10 out of 10 movies to me. Ragnarok is a 10 out of 10 movie to me. Iron Man does not have a single 10 out of 10 movie to me. Part 1 is like a 9 to me, but it's not a perfect movie to me.
Yeah. See, like I said, Captain America: Civil War is such a cheat code for that I don't even think it's a fucking like a debate. I don't even think you can debate it because Civil War is so good.
Yeah, and
it's not even
even if Civil War wasn't there, I still think Winter Soldier's so good.
I don't know, dude. I think, and then fucking Thor Ragnarok being such an anchor for like what's the reverse of a
Dark
fucking
World, you
cheat
mean?
code? Oh yeah, my bad. what's the fucking like the
It's like
opposite?
it's a handicap.
Yeah, like a super handicapped for fucking Thor, dude. Like they shot themselves in the foot with Thor: Dark World.
But then you got Love and Thunder coming around the corner.
Ooh, dude, I hope it's good.
You know it's gonna be good.
Supposedly people are saying that there might be a female Thor in it.
No, it's pretty much been confirmed. The director's confirmed. Natalie Portman's coming back, and she's gonna be female Thor. There's many ways to handle it. Chris Hemsworth has been vocal about not wanting to do Thor forever because he's like he says the workout is just it's harsh on his body. The diet,
I can imagine, dude.
like dude, that. But then I'm like, hey, Fat Thor was like maybe the solution for that. So who knows?
Fuck, dude. I don't know. I think that they knocked out the phase 4 or whatever we just finished of the Marvel out of the park.
Oh, dude, every
So
movie's
good.
amazing. It's so good.
So good. Like
I said, I could talk about this for hours.
Dude, think about it. Our original idea for today's episode was like, oh, our top threes, like in bottom threes, we'll probably get them done in like 40, 50 minutes. If we have like opposing views, we're just getting done, and we're at an hour. We're almost at an hour now because we had that much to say.
Well, like, originally I wanted to like dive deeper into the trilogies, but like
Same, dude.
We've gone on so long. Actually, I could talk for hours about these movies. And I feel like we cut short on Endgame and Infinity War. Like I could have talked way more about those movies because there were so many more scenes I wanted to talk about.
Same.
We'll revisit this in the future.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually, not near future, but
yeah. It's once we get a little bit more stuff like episodes about other things down the way. So, but yeah, I'm always down to talk about these movies because I fucking love them.
And we had 2 other topics that we'll talk about them next week.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else?
Not really, man. I think we already talked enough about the MCU for a bit, so I'm okay. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna go watch some movies now, some MCU movies, because I'm just talking about it. Got me in the mood to watch them. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Thanks. Peace out, you guys.